Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Green0 here back with another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath video commentary. That's right, the Kane's Wrath Open Challenge November 2014 1v1 double elimination tournament was on, of course, and we have some more games here for you today. If you've already seen all the other games, don't forget to check out the stream, everything like that. But we're going to jump into this one here because I've been casting for a while and I can't wait to see some more Kane's Wrath action. This game here I picked randomly from the winners bracket round 3, so essentially the qualifying finals or the quarterfinals for round 3. In the winner bracket, we have SN185, which is going to be Supernova versus WarStorm666, aka Fight Cloud. He doesn't like that. But let's jump over here. So it's going to be Supernova, I believe, was the green color. Yeah, Supernova is going to be black hand on the right-hand side. And of course, WarStorm on the left-hand side is going to be black hand as well. So we're going to have to see how this one goes. It's still a best of 3 at this point in the tournament. So the winner will go through to face the next opponent in a best of 5. And again, it's double elimination, so even if these guys lose, they go to the loser bracket. Don't forget to check out the other commentators. I'm sure they will have some casts from the tournament. And of course, the live stream has a lot of games on it, so don't forget to check that out. One scout here, so it doesn't look like flame upgrade is coming out of WarStorm. Meanwhile, Supernova, no flame upgrade coming out of you two, but he is going for an extra engineer, so he's confident that he can take at least one spike, and this is fine. You can do this against a lot of factions actually. You can build an engineer and at least get the close spike, just because, especially if you have black hand scouts, they're just so ridiculously powerful that there's really the only thing that can beat them is other black hand scouts. They're not really going to lose to much else, unless there's like a ton of buzzers or you have 3 rifle squads that just happen to meet them at the exact point they need to. So you need 3 rifleman squads to overwhelm a Cabal squad. Pretty much, unless they don't pay attention, you might be able to take it out with 2. Or if they're really noob, you can take it out with 1 if they're on a move order. But nonetheless, probably going to see a lot of buggy out of these guys here. Yeah, bike's already out by Supernova. WarStorm has the buggy out as well, mirror build, but it looks like he is going for harvesters. So WarStorm is going to try to eco in this game, and Supernova is not. So he's going to take out that one scout there. He needs to take out the other one. And this is good because he's got the second ref down, but he needs to hide the bikes. But there's a buggy here, and I mean, he really just needs to count the harvesters. He hasn't seen the bikes, but if he just counts the harvesters, he's going to know. And he's going to see a bike there as well. I don't know if that's going to tip him off to thinking that he should have 3 harvesters out by now, but I think he's probably caught on, and he's probably seen these. Yeah, he has. He's drafting. He probably saw those bikes move into the vision of where the Cabal squad was up there. So that's good map awareness by Supernova. Sorry, not Supernova, WarStorm. Supernova is coming around. There is a Scorp tank out, so he forced out the units he wanted to force out. He forced a draft, he forced a Scorp tank. Are we going to see a second Scorpion tank? That would be very nice force out from him. And it is going to be a second Scorpion tank, so he did force out a bit from WarStorm, so that's fine. That is perfectly fine. I mean, look at this. He's got 3 harvesters as well. He's got a lot of power plants. He's actually got 1 too many power plants, okay, but you never know. You're going to need that later on. It's $500. And he's actually going to try to snipe a Scorp. Wow, he gets a Scorpion tank far out. He turned around and showed its rear arm, and that allowed his rockets to do that much damage while they're in flight because they are a projectile. And he's actually going to, he gets a second Scorpion tank. Wow, that's going to be great. He loses a bike, but that's fine. A bike for 2 Scorpion tanks. Wow, and we've got an elite Raider buggy. He's going to want to save that because it goes heroic. It's just going to be one of those really hard things to kill, and it'll tank a lot of damage, and it's going to really come into play in a fight later on. 4 harvesters now up for WarStorm, and we have 5 up for Supernova. So he's looking pretty good. Mind you, both of them share the spike. So WarStorm, I didn't see it, but he must have had his own engineer. So isn't that nice? You don't see it too often that both sides get 2 spike each here. Meanwhile, what's happening over here? It looks like Supernova doesn't like that spike, so he's attacking it, and that's going to prompt WarStorm. He's like, well, if you're going to take my spike, I'm going to shoot at yours as well. So obviously just realizing that when his own spike was attacked. But yeah, not a lot of map vision out. Let's check the map vision of these guys. Supernova not too well, and WarStorm even worse. So again, the map vision is going to have to be a little bit better, otherwise someone is going to get jumped by bikes or something. But it looks like WarStorm's already like, you know what, I didn't even need to build bikes, I'm just going to go straight for the Scorp tanks. Whatever that was cancelled because it was just, yeah, just went back in. But yeah, in a black hand mirror, Scorp spam, if it comes to that, will reign supreme. I mean, Supernova does have this fast hit squad, so he can still, you know, it's still fine. It's still perfectly fine. It's just that if he gets too many Scorp tanks, he could be in trouble. WarStorm just starting to build his numbers up now. He's going to need more eco before he goes into this fully. He's actually got a tier 2, so very early tier 2 for this kind of engagement. You wouldn't expect Dozer Blaze to come out so soon, but Supernova is moving into position down here, so there's going to be no harvesters. So he's going to want to wait a while before he goes in, but he obviously doesn't realize that he can't see it. He's coming in expecting to see harvesters. He's like, hang on a second, there's no harvesters here, so he's going to attack the MCV. He could probably, I wonder if he could snipe that comm center if he was being super careful. He's, yeah, because look, he's just not doing really any damage to this MCV, and he's just going to go, he's going to go straight for it now. Wow, if he loses this, that's a massive waste of time for WarStorm. He's going to lose Dozer Blades. It's not going to complete. He gets it. That was a pretty big waste of time for WarStorm then. I guess not waste of time, but it really needed to actually finish, because he invested in the tier 2, the money and the upgrade, and he didn't even get it, and now he's got no operation center. There's a few tanks moving up here, mind you, so they are hugging the top of the map, and he's got 2 tanks and 2 bikes here, 3rd tank probably coming out, so he's probably going to be able to hold this just because he's got a war factory here, and if he micros well enough, he'll be okay. Meanwhile, skirmish is breaking out over there, Scorpion tank's going down, but let's jump back over here. He is going straight for harvesters, and this is a bit iffy because the harvesters, of course, are just going to pull back behind the war factory, and Supernova is going to be allowed to just destroy these guys without taking any return fire, but now he's realized a few tanks stacking up there, but yeah, Supernova should be okay to defend this. He had to sell a ref off, but he doesn't lose any harvesters, and he only loses a handful of units compared to all the tanks that do go down. Battle marker down there, a few units. There is a heroic raider buggy down here. You think he might want to get out of there, tanking a lot of damage. That's what I was talking about. It comes back to tank the damage, even though he didn't really get shot at that much in that engagement. Heals himself up very quickly. It's just the resistance, the cannon and rocket resistance from buggies is just off the charts already, and he might have to move some of the, he's pulling some of these harvesters over. I imagine he's probably done some already. He's going for infantry instead, so he's switching into infantry, not even bothering with tanks. He's like, hey, I don't even need tanks, I'm just going to go rocket Cabal, and I'm going to keep going with some bikes. He has got a couple of tanks here, of course, so that's nice. He's probably going to be able to save his spike. WarStorm, what's he doing? He has to force these guys out, but the spike was destroyed, so that's not good. Obviously the flame unit, and you can see that, you know, obviously if the flame unit is done, he is up against these flame infantry, so he might have to do something else. He doesn't really have much, does he? Where are all his tanks? I mean, he does not have many tanks at all. I guess they're actually over here, so really that's all the tanks he's got. He's going to need Cabals, and he's probably going to need his own flame upgrade, because Supernova, almost called him Cyber, and then Wookieebert, and then whatever, but looks like Supernova is going to be taking the blue tib. Has some harvesters rally down here, or at least one harvester rally down there now. And he's pulling a fair bit of units. There is a big line of tanks up here, which could be a problem, but Supernova, this field is dry. It's not really important. He could probably sell everything there off and be okay. He isn't going for Dozer Blades. He's building infantry and some rockets, but he's trying to move an army across the map at the moment. He's trying to move an army across. It's pretty mix and match. He's actually pulling, wow, he's really unorganizing, or disorganizing himself right now, isn't he? He might have spotted those tanks, and he's moving all his units back, but I don't think that's a good idea. He is moving these units down here. Look at this. WarStorm was preparing for a mass imp attack, so maybe it wouldn't have gone down so well anyway. And he's actually going to come in here now. WarStorm does not have too much. He's probably going to have to sell these turrets to get the Cabals out, and he's in big trouble. Meanwhile, what's happening over there is tanks going down, so he does win a small engagement over there, but all of his harvesters, oh man, they're totally undefended now. Heroic Buggy is in there just killing all the Cabals, and oh man, WarStorm is just taking critical damage here. This is not recoverable damage. If a few more harvesters go down, that harvester will drop, and he is really running out of harvesters. He's going to back off now, because this is a tournament. You don't want to accidentally overcommit and lose yourself the game. He knows he did a crap ton of damage, and it's time to just get out and just assess the damage first to see if he has done enough, instead of just committing everything. 5 harvesters do remain from WarStorm. They're going to have to get over here right now. Only 2 of them are. 3rd one coming now. He did steal some blue tib, and he is falling back now. But there is a decent amount of Scorpion tanks here, so he has to defend this attack out, which I think he should be okay with. Tech is obviously done as well, because we can see charged particle beams, and he's like, whoa, tech is done. Maybe I'm not going to go too close to that tib field, because there could be a chemical plant, and there is a chemical plant. Oh man, I think we're going to see some clicks out by Supernova, probably hoping for that army to move across the blue Tiberium field to get some clicks on. Meanwhile, bikes moving across here. This is a very fast-paced match. A lot of units moving around the map very quickly now, and the bikes are moving around and down here. Let's see what they decide to do. Are they going to commit and go in? I'm not quite sure. There is that heroic Buggy still rocking around there. That's just become such a problem for him, hasn't it? He's moving down here. Meanwhile, there's another attack down here as well. Infantry and tanks. He doesn't have very many shredder turrets. These are, oh, there goes the one clicks. He does get 2 harvesters and a refinery. There might have been a 3rd one there, but I can't really see. And that's a lot of damage as well. These bike buggy might be thinking about pulling out. Meanwhile, these guys are going to move forward. There's tanks here. WarStorm is in a lot of trouble. He's got some defensive units here, but some of his army is caught out of position. It's up there. He hasn't got everything rallied down. He needs to bring it down here right now. He is getting attacked, and I think Supernova has just got enough here. Even if it doesn't break it, wow, he's going to tib vein him as well, and that is going to cause massive damage. Oh no, he rage quit. He rage quit at the T-Bane. Oh man, everyone's like, oh my god, I didn't get to see it. They're like, he would have seen the animation start and he would have been like, nah, tap out, and he's tapped out right away. So obviously WarStorm has uploaded that replay, because if Supernova had done so, we would have seen a different kind of endgame scenario there. But WarStorm like, nope, and it was like, oh, I wanted to see the big explosion, and he got to see part of it, so he did just rage quit out. They can't blame him for that one there. So Supernova 84,000 to 62,000, so about 22,000 in his favor there, but he just played a cleaner, crisper game, did the damage, and WarStorm yeah, just probably could have made a few better decisions in that game, but well played from Supernova. We're going to jump into game number 2 now, see if WarStorm can bring it back one game, or if Supernova is going to close it out and progress through the winners bracket. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Alright guys, here we are back in game number 2 of this best of 3 series between Supernova and WarStorm for the Kane's Wrath Online Open Challenge November 2014. We are now on Twisted Arena. Obviously WarStorm got the choice of map, and this is a very nice map indeed. They have of course picked their factions once again. This map here, I mean, it does force, of course, we've talked about it before, because I think I'm pretty sure I've casted on it. Mind you, we do have WarStorm down the bottom as non-vanilla. Supernova will be in the top left. He's playing as Blackhand again, as he has done so throughout the majority of this tournament. But going back to this map again, I have noted that the expansion to the north, or the east if you're over the other side, is just so close that there's no real reason to go for the field over here. It's not any bigger. There is a blue tip field here, but of course there's a blue tip field up here as well, so it often forces both players to move to this field, and then one player will kill the other one before there's a necessary, or before it becomes necessary to expand again. So you got to watch this map. There have been some games where I've tried to expand to the bottom and I've made it work, but against lesser players, so I'm not quite sure about this map. It has obviously stayed in the pool unchanged. It probably will stay in the pool unchanged. So again, it's just one of those maps that's very interesting, intricate, and we'll really have to see how it goes. It has a certain style of play to it. Of course, it's big, it's flat, and it's open, and you're close to your opponent, so you can base push, you can just mass tank push. Air is okay. There's not a lot of room for the air to run. And of course teching is okay, harassment's okay as well, and of course rush. So I guess it does suit a fair bit of strategies, but just to the mid to late game you see the game end sometimes because one player will break the other one because their fields are so close together. They're not that close, but when you've got tanks and you've got units and the guy's there, you want to attack him. You just want to go and pick a fight, because that's what you got to do. So we'll have WarStorm here. Sorry, not WarStorm. Supernova does have, WarStorm has the buggy. He sees the one bike. He didn't actually see how many harvesters there were, but he's probably just guessed it's the same strategy again. He is moving the MCV with just one power plant, so I don't think, maybe he has not seen this. Wow, maybe he hasn't think, maybe thinks it's a fake. Maybe he doesn't think he's going to do, yeah, no, he's got a Scorpion tank out. He's like, I know what you're doing, I got a Scorpion tank. And that one Scorpion tank now will be able to push these bikes away. He's going to take some damage. He just needs to pull that back because bikes, they do rocket damage, which does a fair bit. And is he going to lose this? Oh no, he's going to lose this Scorpion tank. It's going to be so close. It's going to be so close. He does not lose it, not yet. But these bikes are committed. They're committed. Will they get it? They do get it. And wow, he didn't lose any bikes. Holy crap. He did not lose any bikes. That was super lucky. Super clutch. I mean, it did come down to a fair bit of luck there. But yeah, nice work there from Supernova to obviously do the same strat. Same bike push again, and of course he made it work. He got a tank, not as much as last time, of course, because he did get a fair bit last time. Didn't get any harvesters, but you know how it is. Just gonna readjust my seating. Yes, I've got a pretty old chair. It's a pretty cool office chair, pretty cool for gaming, but it's got a nice high end to it. And he does have another War Factory, and you're trying to hide it from Supernova, but he's like, I see that. I see your second War Factory. He could be going all in. You never know. He might just decide, you know what, I'm going to go all in. No, there's the tier 2. Can Supernova see this tier 2? Oh, geez. He can see it. He can see it. Oh, man. I'm not sure if he's noticed it's there. Let's have a look through his eyes. He is looking around. It's in his vision, so I think we can safely say, and I never really do that much. I never really go through the eyes for a VOD. I do it when I watch replays sometimes, just to see what my opponent can see and what they're looking at. But he's obviously rallied, yeah, obviously he was looking down here because he was rallying these troops down here, or these bikes, and he's going to continue for fast harassment. He might have to abandon this shortly though if there's a double War Factory tank push coming, just because the fast harassment won't really matter then, because he's going to get overwhelmed at his main. And he's got these bike buggy here. Important not to lose the bike buggy. Of course, you don't want to lose them. And he's not vanilla as well, which means his Scorpion tanks will be better in the late game. Will try to focus one down. Doesn't quite get it. Supernova's going to pull it back. Oh, yeah, no, you can't commit to that. No, he would have lost a lot more bikes if he did. And that's a good push there from WarStorm to push these bike buggy back. Killed a few things, put some damage on it, didn't lose anything. He just needed to hold that harassment off just to keep things going smoothly. Dozer Blaze is going to finish this time, so it's the same strategy from both players, but it's a different map. But this time, WarStorm did hold the harassment a little bit better, and of course, he's going to hold his comm center, or his operations center for Nod, of course. And did he sell his MCV? I think he sold his MCV. It's gone. It's not there. I'm pretty sure he sold it. I don't know if there's an engineer crossing the map somewhere, but I'm pretty sure there might be one. We'll have to go to his vision and see what he can see. No, he can't see much at all. Is there an engineer over here? There's vision over here, but no, I can't see where he has an engineer, so he may have lost it already, unless he's got it chilling somewhere. He's got a flame tank out as well. That could be important, so he's all in. Does Supernova realize this? He's going for infantry, and he might be going for flame. Double barracks out. He's got a decent amount of Scorpion tanks, so he can defend this. He can defend this, and yeah, WarStorm's going to come in. He does have Dozer Blade done, which means, of course, he can crush, or he can't crush Fanatics, because that's exactly what they want you to do. But he's going to be able to push these two barracks down straight away. There is the War Factory here. Supernova needs to be in front of the War Factory when he fights this, because it will block out the back tanks. And this is going to be a pretty intense fight here now. These guys are going to be fighting with these Scorp tanks here, and I think, yeah, WarStorm's got more, but there is a War Factory here for him as well. There is a battle marker going off down the bottom right-hand side, but it can't be something terribly important. It's probably the bike buggy harassing. We'll stay here, but Supernova is going to lose this. We'll just jump down here and see what it is. Yeah, he is losing the bike buggy. It is getting destroyed before he can actually get too many harvesters. So Supernova's in a bit of trouble. Pulls back. Good positioning of these tanks here now. They're blocking out most of the front ones from WarStorm, and a big sell-off comes over here now. There's the flame tank. The flame tank probably didn't take the best way into this town here. He is getting shot up by these Scorpion tanks, because these Scorpion tanks aren't helping their friends over here. And if WarStorm gets too many tanks here and he camps his production, he's going to be looking pretty good. The few tanks here on red health needs to focus those ones down, but yeah, WarStorm is moving in here now. He is in here, he's in the production, he should be able to focus these tanks down pretty quickly. He doesn't have too much in his reinforcements, 2 more tanks coming in, and oh man, Supernova sells up the War Factory. He sells up the War Factory. What's he got? He's got 1 War Factory. He needs to put something down. He's going to lose his MCV, he might have to put a barracks down and then just sell his MCV. He's going to bring more tanks forward now. It's going to be important to kill the red tanks first, and he is trying to kill the red tanks. 1 rocket squad comes out before that falls, and he is going to try to be holding on here. If he can hold on, he can probably win, but there's a flame tank coming. There's a flame tank. He sells his MCV. He's like, yep, no worries, not going to be able to hold that. And it looks like WarStorm is all in. He's kind of delayed all in. It's actually probably going to work for him. He finishes up the rest of the forces here from Supernova. Supernova only has 4 tanks back here, including the one that just came out of the War Factory. This is his last barracks. If that goes down, no more infantry. Flame Yanning is here, and that's going to be the end of space. And I think WarStorm has done enough to edge it back here on Twisted Arena here. So he's going to come bring it back, and it's going to be 1 apiece, just like the game we saw beforehand with Unleashed and Bravo 3. WarStorm levels the series very quickly there. And I think Supernova might have needed a bit more scouting there to see that coming, or a little bit more time. 7 minutes that game was. So nice work there from WarStorm to peg it back. It's going to be 1 game apiece in this best of 3 series. So it's going to go to a deciding game again. Look at that kill death ratio, 4.52. WarStorm just too good there. 44,000 or 44,500 to 39,000. So we got about 5-6 grand in favor of WarStorm. Nothing serious. It came down to the engagements. And of course, Supernova lost those engagements there. So that's game number 2, 1 apiece. We're going to jump into the deciding game right now. Alright guys, here we are with game number 3 from this best of 3 series. The winner will progress to the semi-finals of the winner bracket, where they'll play a best of 5 against the next opponent. The loser will go to the loser bracket in this part of the tournament. So stay tuned to my channel, of course, and check out the streams and the results from KanesWrathOnline.com. But we're going to jump into game number 3 now, and it's going to be, of course, WarStorm and Supernova. Let's jump up here and have a look. Did not even check the colors. I was so excited to jump in. WarStorm has selected non-vanilla again, so he's going to be non-vanilla, puts his racks down. He's going to be up against Black Hand again. Supernova down here playing as the Black Hand Forces. And readjusting my mic there, so everything's cool. Let's have a look and see how this one goes. Wow, is he going for 2 engineers? He's going for 2 engineers. Unless shadows are coming out, he's going to be in big trouble. Yeah, no shadow teams. He's going for 1 spike. Yeah, this isn't Smash Dust Bowl either. There's no walls here, which means the Cabals are probably going to be able to beat the engineers to that spike. Yes, I think they will be able to stop it. And WarStorm could be in a little bit of trouble here. He could be straight away losing his engineer. And Supernova's like, you know what, I can take both these spikes against Nodvilla. He's not going to shadow team rush me in a best of 3 or the deciding game. It's a little bit risky shadow rushing, and he's going to be able to kill these scouts. He's going to have to basically make a run for this. And I think it's probably not going to be enough yet, and he will lose that engineer. Oh man, that is crippling to him. I mean, well, not game winning, but it's a very good start. A lot of people think, oh, I lost my engineer, I need to just quit the game. No, you don't need to do that. You know, yeah, it's bad, but it's not you've just lost the game or anything like that. Not unless you went for like several engineers, then you're in trouble. Supernova, he's probably very happy with himself. He's got 2 spike now, and he didn't lose any scouts, so he's going to be looking pretty sweet in this game. He's going to be up against a all-in WarStorm. WarStorm's like, okay, yep, no worries, let's just go all in. So he thinks he's bike rush right now. He's got 2 harvesters. He's got the bikes. I think Supernova's probably going to see this. He didn't actually go into his base, though. He's just gone for these defensive towers here, thinking that it's going to be a long game. He just wants scouts out there, and there's some bikes, or 1 bike. No, there's 2 bikes, sorry. Oh no, there's 5 bikes out. Wow. If he gets in here and destroys both of these harvesters, that could be game. I mean, WarStorm hasn't built up enough. He's going to see there's a lot of bikes here, and no bikes go down from either side there. And I think oh geez, going to get messy. He's going to get messy. They're so similar colors. Ain't supposed to see what's going on there. Of course, the players can, because when they select their units, only theirs will show up. But of course, for an observer, it's hard. He should know. He should know that he's probably up against an all-in play. Yeah, he can see 2 War Factory. He knows he's against all-in. WarStorm actually needs to win this game pretty quickly, because Supernova's going to get very strong. And you can see right now, he's like, well, I'm not going to win the bike buggy fight, so I'm just going to go for lots of infantry. He's got a barracks there, but he's not actually building any units. That's interesting, because WarStorm's going to make a move very shortly. He should have made a move by now already, but of course he had to defend that attack out. And for an all-in, he's not being very aggressive in this fight. He's actually stalled on cash. He's got 3 harvesters, so he built an extra harvester there. Of course, no blue tib on this level, and I think he might be going back for an MCV. Far out. That probably was not a good idea from WarStorm to do this kind of play. Supernova now doesn't have that much eco either. He's actually going for another refinery, so he doesn't seem to be too fussed at all about the all-in he's against, does he? He's just driving around like, you know what, I'm fine. I am perfectly fine. So he's got a really good read on this, by the way, because normally most players would be building a ton more units at the moment. But he's going to move over here. He's going to see that, of course, well, he knows that one of his spikes is gone. And he did drive right next to that spike, so WarStorm is going to be able to see that they're there. WarStorm is making his way down over here, but there's only 2 bikes. Those are really his harvester killers of those bikes now. They're going to hit a Cabal squad straight away who don't target the bikes. They will be targeting the buggy. And yeah, he's going to have to micro that harvester back, and he will be doing so. One of the bikes is almost down. And yeah, pulling that back to the War Factory. There's 2 rocket squads here as well. Meanwhile, he's pulling back his whole force back to his base. So this harvester has ended up on the wrong side. But yeah, it doesn't matter. These bikes here now, they need to focus down that bike here real quick. And these buggies now are sitting ducks. They will not be able to do any further damage. So again, a nice pick up there for Supernova, winning the small battles in this fight so far, which is oh so important, especially when your opponent did do that kind of all-in. 4 harvesters out by Supernova. Meanwhile, a lot of Scorpion tanks coming. He did not rebuild an MCV, sorry, so he's going all in the Scorpion tank. He can see this Scorpion tank army coming. There's only 7 tanks there. It's easily defendable, especially with what he's got. He's got rocket squads. He's got them spread out, which means they're going to have to try to get run over. There's a rocket squad inside the garrison wall as well, and that's just more problems for him. Yeah, he's probably going to get crushed here, but he has spread them out. And of course, he just needs to cause sporadic damage to the tank force, and he'll be fine. You know, his harvesters, of course, are not stealth, so that's obviously not too good. But yeah, he should. Wow, he's actually going to lose a harvester, so that's probably not necessary to do that, especially since it drew fire. He could have been firing back at him, but he's got a lot of gun-type weapon against his Scorpion tanks here, and he is starting to defend this. He's got his own tanks. He's got a lot of rocket squads. They need to watch out. They're probably going to get crushed very shortly. But again, it's hard to see the tanks because when they go to heavy damage mode, we can see the WarStorm has the special tanks there with the skins on them. But yeah, he got defended out pretty easily there. Probably didn't need to lose a harvester, but he did lose one. He's got 3 remaining, and he will even finish off that tank there. A few of the rest of the tanks pulling back now. This Cabal squad probably want to take one of these other buildings to keep eyes on this area. But still no MCV from WarStorm. He's still all in at this point in time, and his tib field is about halfway done. So he's still got some in the tank here to keep pushing. But Supernova, did he sell his MCV? He did sell his MCV, wow. So he sold his MCV, he's going to go back for that other spike, of course. And so both these players now, this is interesting. I'm not sure what's actually going to happen. He's obviously trying to build some bikes to get some harassment units up. and building some buggies as well. So he's got tanks for defense, he's got rocket troopers for defense. Mind you, where are those rocket troopers? He's got 2 in that building, and he's got the rest actually running forwards. I'm not sure if he realizes that they're on a move order there, because they are moving over towards WarStorm's base. Remember, he has no radar, so he might not be aware that these guys might be trying to focus down a tank somewhere. WarStorm has rebuilt his construction yard as well, so all of a sudden, selling off one of the war factories, he looks okay, because, you know, Supernova does not have that war factory. Sorry, not the war factory, the MCV. But what he does have is a lot of units, probably about twice as many as what WarStorm has, but he's just planning on defending this. And he will actually take these buildings here. He might want to destroy this structure here. Actually, no, I can't even select it. It's like it already is destroyed. But yeah, we'll be taking some shots at these tanks. And that's nice. If he loses a tank here, really not necessary. Yeah, he pulls back now. And Supernova's probably going to make a move. He's going to find these tanks over here, and he needs to make sure he turns away pretty quickly. And split his fire between a lot of tanks there. It's not something you want to do. Buggies roll forward to try to draw fire. Does get a tank kill. That's nice. But again, lost maybe a little bit too much there. Buggies need to make sure they're up front to draw fire. Bikes need to be causing the damage. WarStorm trying to focus the bikes down there. But again, it is very difficult to do. They move so quickly, you can accidentally give a move order. And he's got a ref down as expansion as well, so he must be realizing, hang on a second, he is pretty much all in. A few rocket squads, actually that rocket squad there is still moving forward. He could have even de-garrisoned these. He's got 3 rocket squads. If he de-garrisoned them and used them in that attack, they could have drawn fire and done a lot of damage. But nonetheless, WarStorm is still locked in his base. Battle markers over here. Yeah, these guys here are pretty much blocked out by these other ruined buildings. There's a few units over here. Wow, Supernova has some tanks here now. And he's got some rocket squads. He should de-garrison and bring these along for the show, because he's looking pretty good right now. Does he have an MCV? No, he does not have an MCV. He does not have this spike back yet. I'm not sure if he lost the engineer or what, but it could be moving around somewhere. And yeah, Shredder turret's coming up now. WarStorm all of a sudden looking pretty good in this fight. I think Supernova did a misread here on this game. And now there's a double ref down at this expansion here, powering up and down just to get the harvester out. Just because obviously he's having a little bit of problems with his power. But yeah, Supernova I think has misread this game. He's in a little bit of trouble now. He's going to move these tank forces out to the right hand side. I think, yeah, WarStorm's called onto it. He kind of knows, hang on, they're probably out there. And these infantry units now getting hit by these Shredder turrets. They need to get off the ground. And yeah, they need to move into a better position. He is up here now. He's going to be able to take out that first tank straight away. It's going to be tank v tank, and of course Supernova has more, so as long as his focusing is on point, he's going to be fine. And those two tanks stacking up. But yeah, look at that nice focus fire from Supernova. He's going to win this fight convincingly, because he's got a force multiplier here now. And actually, no, reinforcements coming in for WarStorm, so he's probably going to be able to hold this off. But how well is he going to hold off, I'm not quite sure. There's only a few tanks left. And so at that point where these tanks now are not going to be able to do much more damage, if at all. And they are going to make a run for it. They could probably get one more tank kill. But yeah, only one tank is going to get away. So WarStorm defends it off. Supernova sticking around for a little bit too long there. And that one tank will be trying to get away now. He should be able to get away. Shouldn't be able to get caught up to. And yeah, WarStorm lets it go. He doesn't want to move too far from his base in case he hits more units. What's happening over here? There is an engineer. Actually didn't even go for the spike. He's actually going around. And yeah, WarStorm sees it straight away. And he's going to be able to kill that. If the Shredder turret can actually range it. No, you can't actually range that. It's interesting. Okay, you would have thought that would have been in range of that Shredder turret. But no, he's going to sell it off. And the militant squad will do the job for him now. And unfortunately, that engineer probably should have just gone for the spike. A few groups of infantry forces out here now. Just chilling, just keeping an eye on things in case an attack force rolls through there. Meanwhile, Supernova has re-expanded, so he has got an MCV and he's got one ref down. But that's really it. Okay, he's got 4 harvesters by the looks of things. So he hasn't really rebuilt many harvesters, has he? So I'm not sure if he lost some more when we weren't looking, but I'm pretty sure he had more than that. But WarStorm now looking pretty good. He's built up his infrastructure. He's going for laser capacitors, and he's got dozer blades. So that's pretty big problems for Supernova. Of course, because the Scorpion tanks here, the Nod ones are just going to be better. And he could go for Venoms or Buggies to kill the infantry because the lasers are so good. But yeah, he's just going to play it conservatively. Go for a Redeemer. He's even dropped, of course, he dropped Obelisk Light right there because obviously worried that he's going to get attacked by some mass bike buggy. Meanwhile, 3 tanks move in on the right flank here. They will be taking out a power plant, forced to sell off. They could even get a second power plant. Again, just to cause problems for what do you call it? Cause problems for WarStorm. Meanwhile, some bike buggy has made its way in. Will they get a harvester kill? I don't think they are going to get a harvester kill. And he's going to move out of that tier field. He really doesn't need to worry about any clicks right now. Does not lose that harvester. Just manages to hold on to it. But of course, he did lose some harvesters over here. This distraction attack went unnoticed. And now, yeah, he needs to watch out. That obelisk there will cause him some serious damage. So WarStorm is tucked away in his base nicely. So it's going to be cool for Supernova here, just because of his position. Yeah, he has a lot of distance between between WarStorm and his own base, but he just does not have the ability to crack such tough defenses right now. He's trying to build up his forces, he's trying to go for Scorpion tanks, but I think that's a bad idea because one, he does not have Dozer Blades, and two, momentarily, he's going to be up against laser capacitors, so let's just zoom in. The cannon will be replaced, the front cannon with the rear laser cannon there. That's why they call them Scorpions. So that's going to be a problem for him as well, because he's going to make a move on him, and he might have to go for infantry spam. There is a flame unit inside the Redeemer though, which is going to be a problem. So the Redeemer is out. He's on the move now for his next expansion. A flame tank probably wouldn't be able to sneak in over there if he had one. But again, just leaving Obelisk, random Obelisk here. He's obviously worried about something. And of course, Supernova can see, hang on a second, laser capacitors, probably shouldn't build Scorpion tanks, because he's actually really committed to them as well, hasn't he? He's got a fair bit of them over here. And meanwhile, yeah, he's actually starting to move to infantry. He does not have a lot of money as well, so probably could have been spending that on something else other than the Scorpion tank army, because he's going to be completely out-teched and outclassed. There's a massive army now moving across the map, including the Redeemer, and he probably won't be able to stop it. These random garrisons are nice, but they're at the point in the game where they're not really going to do too much, just causing some sporadic damage there. Some nice damage on those tanks, I guess. Every bit counts, and he's going to be firing at those guys there. And oh geez, those rockets have some pretty big range. Rage Gen goes off, so that's interesting. That didn't actually hit anything, so she did hit these guys here, but nonetheless not going to be too much of a problem here. The Redeemer now continuing to clear the buildings out for the tanks, and he's moving across the map very slowly here, and I think once he gets to Supernova's base, there won't really be much of a defense. Few bikes now moving into this base area here, but they're not going to be able to do too much at all. Meanwhile, this attack force is moving across the map. I wouldn't be surprised if Supernova just calls it. He has not got Dozer Blades. How's he going to stop this? He's only got a handful of Scorpion tanks. He's got less Scorpion tanks than WarStorm has. Yeah, he's not going to be able to hold this at all. He's going to get completely overwhelmed, so he probably did not play this game too well. Meanwhile, battle markers over there, it's just units getting destroyed. And yeah, the Redeemer now moving across this area here. Rage Gen's probably almost recharged. And again, Dozer Blade's not even on the research here. The MCV is going to be destroyed. And unfortunately for Supernova, he did not, like I said, have the best read on this game here. WarStorm just coming through comfortably, I think, and he's going to take the series 2-1, which is interesting after the first game. Supernova played extremely well in the first game. Not saying he played bad in the next two, but he probably did play the last game as well as he probably should have. Again, misreading there. WarStorm, of course, trying to go all in, put himself into a pretty precarious position, but he managed to pull it off. One more unit probably going to come out before that War Factory drops, and just gets completely baked out of there as well. And yeah, Supernova is down, so WarStorm progresses to the semi-finals of the tournament to face a best-of-5 against his next opponent. And meanwhile, Supernova will go off to the loser bracket in the tournament. So that was a pretty good series by these players here. Hope you all enjoyed that series. Let's just take a quick peek at these stats. You can look at that. Look at the resources. They kind of switched across there. Just WarStorm making better decisions. 13 minutes, 30 seconds, 78,000 to 90,000. Only got about 12 grand more than Supernova. But Supernova, of course, not putting the money into what he needed to be into. So that was a pretty good series. Hope you all enjoyed that series. Stay tuned to my channel. See if I'm bringing some more VODs. But I'm Green Zero, and I'll see you all next time.